Spaceballs. Did you catch the Millennium Falcon chilling outside the grill?
No.
Yeah. The Millennium Falcon is just parked right there, sitting right there. Look at it, right there, sitting right there, right outside the diner. I missed it completely too. I thought Spaceballs was like a joke and a play on the Death Star because it's just a ball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, it's actually way dumber than that. Like, there you go. Spaceballs is born. It's that stupid. Welcome. I think that's how it was. To the Geeks, just a podcast YouTube channel. No, that's not how it goes.
No, it doesn't make it. No. You normally say the list.
Es que I was doing the sign.
What sign?
Where they do the chinga tu madre and then the chorus. Welcome to the list. This is a show where we pluck out a name out of our Geek Flicks and Joysticks podcast watch list. Watch it and view it for your viewing pleasure. I'm your host, Enterprise. With me is sometimes my ghostly friend,
Felix.
The movie we're scratching off the list today is 1987 cult classic, Spaceballs. A star pilot for hire and his trusty sidekick must come to the rescue of a princess and save planet Druidia from the clutches of the evil Spaceballs. Had you seen this before?
Yes.
I had not.
I was a cheering when I saw it.
As most people do. This is obviously
Yeah.
This is a Mel Brooks production. I'd not seen it before, so I had heard of it, of course. Oh, it's a cult classic. Yada yada yada. All the things that you hear when it comes to Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the cast is pretty legendary with Mel Brooks, John Candy, Rick Moranis, Bill Pullman, Daphne Zuniga, Michael Winslow makes a cameo in there as well.
So, the one that was like, that is not the pewter he's on.
Sir, what is it? Can I talk to you, please, sir?
Supposedly, Michael Winslow saved the production about $1,000 by doing those sound effects.
Holy shit.
But this is obviously a Star Wars parody. But I didn't know that they actually spoofed a bunch of things. Like there's some Wizard of Oz. There's like a handful of other films. I was expecting this to be strictly Star Wars.
Oh, no. Even they took a jab into Star Trek.
It does come from a place of love. Mel Brooks says that he's a giant fan of both Star Wars and Star Trek. So it wasn't out of malice or anything to like make fun of. I didn't know that Spaceballs was actually a race.
Me neither.
I thought Spaceballs was like a joke and a play on the Death Star because it's just a ball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, it's actually way dumber than that. Like, originally, the title of the movie was supposed to be Planet Moron.
I mean, it is funny, but I'm glad it wasn't.
But Mel felt that he needed the word space in it. So they had the word space. They just didn't know what else to pair it with. And then in one of their meetings, Mel Brooks spilled something on his hand and yelled out, "Balls!" And there you go. Spaceballs is born. It's that stupid.
It tracks with Mel.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world coming from Mel. Like, if anybody else on the planet would have said, they'd been like, okay, yeah, whatever, you're so dumb. But when it comes to Mel Brooks, yeah, that tracks. Yeah, so we have Dark Helmet, played by Rick Moranis, was kind of like the Darth Vader character. He was fantastic. He was great.
I loved him. Why don't we get more Rick Moranis these days?
He did retire. He's
retired.
Yeah, he's retired. Mm-hmm.
He is a huge standout in this movie.
There must be, and if there is, please let us know down in the comments of a Rick Moranis dud, something that was absolutely just ass. I can't remember anything off the top of my dome of something like, you know that movie where Rick Moranis is whatever? It sucks. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
Yo, never heard about that.
And every actor has at least one of those. You know? Joan Rivers lent her voice to C-3PO, but her name is actually Dot Matrix.
I loved it.
We also got John Candy as Barf, half man, half dog.
His own best friend. Oh, God, that's so sad.
But he does have a best friend in Lone Star. They had a great chemistry between Candy and Pullman. I did like Candy's ears, how they were moving independently. And
very expressive way.
There was actually one operator per ear. Also, Candy had a little control for his tail. So he controlled the tail. And that's why Candy had to wear a 30-pound battery pack on his back the whole time. But you can't even tell. You can't even tell. I like the makeup on his face too. That little patch of fur, I thought that was awesome.
The makeup in the whole movie is actually pretty cool to the point that Jabba the Pizza Hut was hilarious.
Man,
that was so hard to watch because it disgusted and revolted me.
this is even wild to figure out. The suit was actually made mostly from real pizza.
What?
Yes, it was heated up to produce that nasty melting effect. But it was miserable to wear. Nobody wanted to wear it. So one person did, which was a crew member. But after like a few takes, he was crying out for help because of the smoking that the suit was doing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the like periphery of the eyes, he has cheese running down his left eye, his right eye.
Horrendous. So he was like, get me out of here. So they actually had to get another crew member to jump in and film. So that took two people to wear. But yeah, Bill Pullman as Lone Star is pretty great. Mel Brooks wanted a star to be Lone Star. Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks both declined the role.
Oh, man.
And after Brooks had already gotten Candy and Moranis, he was like, okay, I don't really need a star because I have these two comedy geniuses, so nobody will suffice. That's why Bill Pullman got casted as Lone Star.
Wait, Tom Cruise would have been dope. And this is coming because yesterday I watched Minority Report and it was amazing.
Yeah, but Minority Report isn't the same tone as Spaceballs.
No, I know it's not the same tone. It's very serious.
You think they can do stupid like that?
Fuck. Wait, Les Grossman?
Yeah, but look how many years was that? This is like early Tom Cruise. But yeah, I thought that was a cool tidbit. Also, for the role of Colonel Saunders, or Sanders is spelled weird, but it's supposed to be Colonel Sanders. Steve Martin was offered, but he turned it down due to scheduling, so that would have been great. Steve Martin and Moranis going back and forth.
It would have been just like a
maybe too much.
No, I don't think so because they do the three of them ever like share screen time. No. Because you only got Sanders and Dark Helmet and Dark Helmet and Candy Itantan.
Yeah,
it would have been dope.
Yeah, it would have been cool. But I still think that George Weiner, who did play Colonel Sanders, did a great job. He has fantastic chemistry with Moranis.
No diss on that guy because he had me actually laughing.
I thought that they were like related because of the chemistry, you know, because of how well they played off with each other.
Yeah, it sounded like they were cousins or brothers at least.
No, but they're not. There's a bunch of stupid little lines that get you. Like, that's just the way that Mel Brooks writes. Even the start of the movie, you know, you get the scroll, and then there's like funny business in the scroll. But then the movie starts with like a very long ass panning shot of the ship, and it goes on for a good, I want to say, minute and a half, maybe even 2 minutes.
I was making myself breakfast whilst watching the movie, and I did a double take because I watched the ship, then I just putting cheese on my tortilla. Then I just glanced back and I did a double take. I was like, what the f***? It's still going?
It's still going.
So I restarted the whole scene and just watched the majesty of this shit.
Yeah, it's so there's a lot of stuff like that. Plus, there's a lot of lines that you have to pay attention to, like where he says, "What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken?" Like it's just a lot of stupidity, but that works. And then the one part that I do felt was kind of funny and genius is that there's a lot of fourth wall breaking, saying that they are filming a movie. So the whole part where they're fast forwarding the movie to get to the part to figure out where the good guys are at, I thought that whole part was great.
The whole VHS collection was like, oh man, me a blockbuster, bien cabrón.
Yeah, and obviously Brooks is showing off his movies. That's all his old classics, Blazing Saddles, Frankenstein, all that other stuff. It's the wordplay, but also it's very predictable jokes. Once you start, like when the action part, once he starts, you know where he's going with it. Same with the ship. But it's how hard they lean into the joke that makes it work.
Like they take it very seriously.
And they unapologetically do it. Like, you know it's coming. Like when Lone Star is like, okay, we're going out to the desert.
Take only what you need to survive.
You know this is not going to take only what she needs. You know it. You know it. And that is exactly what happens. They're carrying a bunch of luggages, and then they just keep going with it. You know, like, what's in here? And then you see what's in there. It can get people off the train and be like, I'm not into Mel Brooks because of that. But the people who are fans, I feel like that's the reason why, because of they lean in 4 times into the joke.
Yeah, and especially on that luggage one, when they throw out what it was in the trunk they were carrying.
Yeah.
They still carried the trunk, and I was like,
yeah.
What?
What are you doing? There is no character representing Luke. Did you think that we needed one?
No.
Lone Star kind of adopts that character of like, I'm learning the ways of the Jedi and all that other stuff.
But it still works because he's like the Maverick in Solo, and that Luke, they mashed it up okay without having it feel forced.
Right. They made it so that there is actually no need for one. But I was trying to, like, it took me halfway through the movie. It's like, oh, there's no Luke. What the hell?
Oh, no.
There's a Yoda.
Was that Mel Brooks also?
That was Mel Brooks on his knees the whole time. Painted.
No wonder something was off.
Painted all green and weird, talking about merchandise and the Schwartz instead of the Force and a lot of weird stuff. It took me a minute because he comes out in like a Wizard of Oz bit, right? Yeah. So I'm not thinking of Yoda, and then I see him and he's like, "Oh, I'm yogurt." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he starts talking about merchandising, and I'm like, "Oh, this is supposed to be Yoda." Like, it took me a minute to finally put the pieces together. I felt like a gigantic stupido,
dude. The merchandising that wasn't. I don't know if they sold everything at like legit, but it was gorgeous way.
So it's kind of funny you say that because obviously the film needed George Lucas's blessing, which it had in great way, you know, and it's I find it awesome that an artist to be in the joke. I feel like Cameron is very protective of his and does like, no, you know what I'm saying?
He's very zealous about it.
So I appreciate that George Lucas knows that he created a gigantic thing, and then for him to be like, yeah, go ahead, go make fun of it. And that was like back in 1985. We're not even considering that it's been made fun of in the Family Guy trilogy and Robot Chicken and all that. So in the agreement of, yeah, go ahead, you do whatever you want. But he did veto one thing, and that was the merchandising.
Okay.
Because they're very similar to the Star Wars characters and the Star Wars action figures.
Okay.
That's why that whole merchandise bit in the movie was kind of put in there, because of how protective George is about the merchandise. And if you look closely, it's a lot of merchandise that already existed. None of it was Spaceball merchandise. One lunchbox is Transformers, the other one is some other thing, just with a Spaceball sticker labeled on there. The only kind of real merchandise are the dolls Moranis is playing with.
No mames.
Those were the only thing that were kind of real. And that whole scene was improvised by Moranis too, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That had me howling.
Yeah, because it's off the top and it feels like a little kid playing. And it's just like, and to figure out that was off the top, it's pretty crazy.
Oh my God, that's cool.
But bringing it back to what you say that it looked very good, that's how behind the movie Lucas was, because the special effects were made by Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder.
Because the start of it was like, whoa, this looks just like Star Wars. What the hell?
Yeah, it looks like the models they used for the Death Star.
Yes, the exact same models and the exact same thing. And it's like, doing research, I was like, oh, no wonder it was the same people. They even reused one scene that was shot for Star Wars. Remember when they escape in the pods and the pods get shot into space?
Simon.
That shot from the bottom and the pod going up, that was actually supposed to be used for A New Hope.
Oh, wow. The confidence Lucas has on his property. He had the balls, the Spaceballs, to say, go have fun, is, I think, what makes something so good.
A parody never takes away from the actual thing. So Lucas understands that you can make fun of Star Wars. Go ahead, Robot Chicken. Go ahead, Seth Green. Go ahead, Seth MacFarlane. Go make fun of it.
Two Seths.
That's never going to take away from the actual product that is Star Wars. The OGs are going to live on forever, and then they made the prequels after this obviously came out. So he understands and has confidence in what he has in this product that no parody is going to take away from the actual thing. So go ahead, go make more art off of my art. Who cares? And there are also like theories that it's taken place in the same universe.
What? Oh my, no, Seth, no way.
Well, did you catch the Millennium Falcon chilling outside the grill?
No.
Yeah. The Millennium Falcon is just parked right there, sitting right there. Look at it, right there, sitting right there, right outside the diner. I missed it completely too. And in the diner, we see Ollivanders get ripped out by an alien again.
Oh!
And he actually thought it was going to be like a little cameo, but because of how much that scene required, he was like, hey, I should get a credit and actually get paid for that. What the hell?
That was hilarious that he said, not again.
And then the alien dances away. That's so random. What the hell going on there?
Like the Warner Brothers frog, just with the same song. That's one of the things I remembered the first time I watched it.
But I did feel like that part made the movie feel a bit longer than it was supposed to. I would have probably cut the whole diner part out.
Yeah, the diner part was completely tacked in.
because we had already won, right? And now it takes another, 20 minutes probably to like wrap up the story.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to explain the whole thing with the medallion and he's a prince y la madre or whatever. I would have probably modified that a little bit. A lot of it is like, okay, this has nothing to do with nothing, but it's funny.
The structure of the joke
Yeah.
goes beautifully. And this joke was like,
Okay, I get it. It's a good cult classic that oddly still holds up today, but it's mainly because Star Wars is still relevant today. Please leave a comment down below about facts we might have missed about Spaceballs, along with other things you want us to watch for the list. I will leave another Star Wars movie we've actually done for the list over here for you to go ahead and watch. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. May the shorts be with you and always and forever you do you.
Bye.
Bye.